Alright, so I've been working on my new Roblox game for about 8 months now, and a lot has been added to the game in those 8 months, like buses, trains, planes, stores, and so much more that other Roblox games just don't seem to have. But there's just one tiny problem. This is the map right now. And if I want to release this game for all of you guys to play, I think that this map needs a huge makeover. So, this map is in need of some real land. Not this, and definitely not this. So, to start, I first thought of what could fill this super ugly hole on this side of the map. Well, what if the map had different elevation levels? This would really impact the map in a huge way, and it'll make the map feel less like a base plate. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, I started on making different heights of land, but instead of going up, I decided to go down, going for more of a cliffside look. So I stole the rock style from a mountain I made a while back, and made this cool cliff with 2 road levels. Now, how could I add to this? The ugly hole is still there, and now there's another ugly hole on the other side. So I thought of something. I haven't made an ocean yet, so I'll just fill it with that. And after adding a beach to the cliff, it ended up looking pretty good. After that, I thought I would add a little variety to the map by making the road continue into a tunnel as opposed to just a boring road. So I quickly made a tunnel connecting the cliff road to this other little area of land over here, which ended up looking great. Now, to spice up the landscape a little, do you get it? Because it's like fire, and I added a bunch of copies of 2 trees that I quickly made to add variety to the map. And then after I was done copying, the cliff was pretty much done. So now, it was finally time to add some buildings to this map. So after I finished the cliff, we needed somewhere to put the new buildings. So I quickly extended on the cliff and made an extra piece of land, and then decided what buildings to put there. I could put job areas, houses, or even an airport from another video. But I went for houses since there was an apartment building close to it, and there could be stores higher up over here, which I think is pretty good placement. Now that we know what we're going to place in this area, we're going to make a little neighborhood, since just a bunch of houses wouldn't look that good. To make the neighborhood, I started by adding 2 small roads coming in from the 2 big ones. Then I copied the roundabout I made a while ago. By the way, since I made this back in January, there's actually still snow in the middle of it. Then I made some more roads connected to it with houses beside them. Then the final touch was just some trees for decoration, and that's the neighborhood finished. Wait, so if the neighborhood's done, then the map has to be done, right? Oh, fuck. Alright, so it's safe to say that, like, only 30% of the map is actually done so far. And when you compare the right side of the map to the left side of the map, there's a very clear difference. So to start fixing the left side of the map, I added a tunnel where we added our cliff, but I actually tilted it up a tiny bit so that it was level with the land up here. Then I extended the highway to curve at the other end of the tunnel. Then I added a few more rocks around the border to give both areas of the island the same look. Now guys, I'm gonna be real with you for 1 second. Okay, I meant more than 1 second. Guys, I'm gonna be real with you for more than 1 second. This is probably the most boring thing I have ever done. Placing these little rock textures across the entire island took me so many hours to do. It was genuinely the most boring thing ever. So for that reason, and because I care about my viewers, I'm just gonna cut to the finished island with all the rocks. Yeah, this is cool and all, but like, it's just rocks, dude. Are we also going to address how the road just cuts off? Yes, that's been addressed, but I also know how to fix it. I'm gonna make a bridge. And some other highway stuff. Alright, so now we have a finished island, but there's just a few more things we need to do. First, we need to connect both of these roads. And as previously mentioned, we're going to connect them with a bridge. So to start the bridge, I made a path of road connecting point A to point B. After that, I added a layer below the bridge and some support beams. Now, instead of using the same design for the whole bridge, I decided to put an island in the middle for a bit of diversity. Now tell me, doesn't that just look amazing? Oh wait, I forgot the guardrails. There we go. Now that we have a bridge that cars can't fall off of, people actually need to know where they're going. So around the highway, I started putting signs that tell you where your next destination is. But PNX, you don't have any destinations. You've only named like 1 or 2 things in the entire game. Alright, so I'll name some stuff. So the map is gonna have 3 zones. We'll make the first one the PNX zone because that's the name of my channel. We'll make the second one Mason Community because there's already a sign saying Mason Community. And we'll have the third one as the Dog District. What the hell is the Dog District? No, hear me out. Number 1, people like dogs. And number 2, one of my fans is named Dog with a bunch of numbers, and he plays one of my other games. I don't think those are very good reasons. So now the map had 3 zones. The PNX zone, the Mason Community, and the Dog District. So now that we had 3 zones to put stuff in, we just need stuff to put in the zones. So luckily 2 weeks ago, I put a post out saying comment your Roblox username if you guys want to be added to the game. And we have a lot of things to choose from. So, since I can't show adding every building to the map in this video, I'm just gonna pick 2 ideas and show the process of adding those. So, for my 2 ideas, I'm gonna do a robotics store for Von Doom 31 and Arch Roblox's Arch's Arch. That is a lot of arches. To start the robotics shop, I worked on the outside of the building and then put it on the road. Oh yeah, I didn't put any roads down. There we go. After I put the robotics shop on the road, it was time to make a logo for it. Now, since we're talking about the Von Doom here, it only makes sense to call it Von Doom's Robotics. Now, this logo looks pretty boring, so to spice it up, I took the scars from Von Doom's avatar. Ah shit, he changed his avatar. I swear when I made this store, he had this avatar. Anyways, I took the scars from Von Doom's old avatar and put them in the logo. After that, I had to come up with something to sell in the store. I didn't want it to be crazy, but still cool. So I went with the idea of a little robot that just follows you around. Sounds pretty boring to me. I literally said nothing too crazy. So after I knew what I wanted to add, I built the clanker, animated him, and then put him on the shelf to sell. Now, there's just one thing missing, and it's the cashier. So for the cashier, I added Von Doom's old avatar behind the desk, and then put the logo behind him for more theming. Now, one more thing I added in the robotics shop was just these robotic arms throwing a ball to each other, which I think looks pretty cool, and I think it adds to the atmosphere a lot. But now, with the robotics shop done, it's time to add Arch Roblox's Arch's Arch. Thanks for watching.